this is Geek Must Have with another post bag. And this particular item is from Dragon March Trading Company in Shenzhen, Guangdong in China. We will open this up and see what's inside. The name doesn't ring a bell, but you never know. Well, it's more bubble wrap. You know, if I were to keep all this bubble wrap, I could probably wrap up all my trash and send it back to them. But there's some wires in there. Let's not cut too hard. Alright. And what did we get? We got some what appear to be push-button switches. Oh, a couple of adapter cables. These are going to come in real handy. Some more push buttons and some more push buttons and some connectors. So let's take a look at the first item, and these are power connectors, I think. Yep, that's what they are. There's a set of females and males and a set of females and males. These are UXCELL pairs. They're 2 terminals apiece. JST lead connectors, basically. These come in handy with a lot of different MCU multiprocessor boards. I think that these will come in handy, and I just wanted to have them in stock. I think I paid $1.17 for each one of these bags. Here is the AliExpress listing for the 2 pairs of JST leads. Came from the vendor Amico, who's been around for a while. They were $1.17 a piece, and I think I bought the last of them because it says, sorry, this item is no longer available. And the next item are these 2 adapters. And I've been looking forward to these because these will help a lot. What it is an MCX Male connector here on the end. And an MCX connector on the end. It's basically a very tiny connector. It's not a screw-in connector. It's a push-in connector, which is going to a standard BNC female cable. All right? And they're short. And what I'm going to use these for are to extend. I use them to plug into my little DSO-112 oscilloscope that I've used before. Currently I have the standard leads that came with them, which are a set of alligator clips on the end, and I wanted to be able to use a better set of probes with this. And all the probes I have are BNC connectors on the end. So by plugging this into the oscilloscope, I should be able to use my collection of probes that I have in order to do things, and I don't have to buy specialty probes with this MCX connector on the end. And I got a pair of them because there's both an output and an input on this oscilloscope. Another nice thing about this oscilloscope is it's got a mini USB on the top here, and that's for charging it, but it's also for connecting it to the computer and being able to send collected samples from here to the computer to be able to do further analysis. This item also came from AliExpress. It came from the DMIO Tech store, and it's the MCX Male to BNC Female. It's a low-loss pigtail adapter. Now I know what to call it. It's a pigtail adapter. And it was $2.19, and it came pretty quick. And the last item in this packet is this collection of yellow, blue, and green push buttons. They're all the same type of push buttons, but they basically have a clear cap on them, and I think they're about 10 millimeters across, maybe 10, maybe 12-ish millimeters across, and they're little momentary contact switches that you can stick into a breadboard, or you can stick into a printed circuit board, and there we go. So there's a little clear plastic cap, and the clear plastic cap goes over the color. So there's the clear plastic cap, there's the color. So those two go together, and then you snap it on the switch. Oh, it snaps. Snap it on the switch, and it's a little push button switch. And I already bent the terminals on this. Momentary tactile switch. And each bag has got like 5 switches in it. So I got red, green, and yellow. These switches came from AliExpress, from the same vendor, Amico. I think UXCELL is probably their brand name. It shows the blue capped ones. I got the various colored ones, so I'd have a whole bunch of them. And they were $1.18 for 5 pieces, which ended up being $0.25 a piece. They look like they're pretty good manufacture, but we'll know after we use them. And the next box for this post bag is from Lisa Gu from Changyang Road in Zhejiang, Guangdong, China. Same neighborhood. I wonder if they live near each other. They use whatever tape they have on hand. It's amazing. When you look at their packages, they like yellow tape. I don't know what it is with the yellow tape, but then you get tape for places here in the United States that they must have like excess left over, and that's what they wrap the package up in. So let's take a look at this one. This is a nice box, considering how things get shipped and package things the way they package things. All right. Gotta be a way to get into this box. So, of course, bubble wrap. More bubble wrap to add to the never-ending pile of bubble wrap. Cool. I was hoping this would show up. Excellent. So I was wrong. The tape that was on the side of the box that said Keyestudio is the name of the Chinese manufacturer who made this UNO R3 development board. So let's take a look at it. This is a standard Arduino, but from Keyestudio, and it's a black board. As you can see in the back here, it's got the Keyestudio model board UNO R3, made in China. And it is a standard style UNO Arduino board. It's got the USB connector on the end of it, and they even threw in a USB cable with it. And it looks like all the standard ones you'd see. Headers are a little misaligned here. You can see the headers don't seem to be quite on the up and up, but you know, those are pretty easy to bend back into place. Display that's going to go along with that for the project, and it's a Keyestudio, again, I2C LCD, and it's 20 by 4 LCD display, and it has the Keyestudio adapter on the back to do the I2C portion of this. And there are 4 signal connectors on this that come out of the bottom of this. There's ground, VCC signal, and second signal pin on that. And this is 20 characters across and 4 lines of 20 characters. So that will actually be able to display the entire message of a tweet with a little bit of space left over. And part of this was to become a tweet monitor with a different UNO card, but that was the purpose of this. And this looks pretty sturdy. There's a piece of plastic over the outside that I'll leave on for the time being. But this will be one of my project builds, and I'm going to stick this back in its non-anti-static container. This 2 sets of boards, the UNO and the display, came from the vendor Keyestudio official store. I guess that's why they have their own tape and their own custom boxes. It's an UNO R3 development board and a cable, and it was $9. This is the Keyestudio from the Keyestudio official store. It's the I2C LCD 20x4 LCD display module, and it's the shield that plugs in on top of the UNO R3. Mega 2560. It's white letters on a blue light, and it was $10.50 free shipping. And the next package in this post bag comes from Zhenjiang in the Chaoyang district in Beijing, other side of China, I think. I'll open this up and see what's inside of it. Guess what? More bubble wrap. All right. You can always use more bubble wrap. And a business card. Actual business card. With a scan code on it. That's pretty nice. And it comes from Nice RF. Let's open this up. And I think I know what these are. Yeah. I have to check on the back just to make certain. They should come on. Well, they came in an anti-static bag instead of an anti-static box, which is a good thing. And, oh, it's sealed twice. The little antennas had their own little pouch. Yeah. And I will have to find another anti-static, but yes. These are my 915 megahertz LoRa modules. They're like 100 milliwatts a piece, and they broadcast on this LoRa, which is a different set of frequencies with a different set of bandwidths. The bandwidth is very narrow, but the distance can be quite long on these. In fact, much longer than any Wi-Fi. And I just saw a video where somebody did like 200 meters on one of these in Switzerland and Italy. So this is, I got 2 of these, and that's what the unit looks like. It's a little LoRa, about 100, I think it's 150 or 100 milliwatts. And here in the United States, you have to use the 915 megahertz band because that's the band that's been allocated for us. In Europe, they use like the 868 megahertz band to do that. And I have a pair of these. It'll be, I don't actually have a project plan for these, but when I started doing some research on LoRa, I figured I needed to have a pair of these in order to start playing with them. These 2 LoRa modules came from the Nice RF wireless manufacturer. Now they're nice versus to the bad RF wireless manufacturer who make things for Ghost. Yeah, Ghost, that's it. This two pieces makes a good idea to sell them in pieces so that they can talk to each other. As I mentioned, 915 megahertz is what the frequency band is here in the United States for this, and it's 100 milliwatts. They claim long-range 4-kilometer RF wireless distance for this LoRa 1276, and that would only be if it was site to site. The video where the guy who has the Swedish accent has mentioned he had a hard time finding two spot-to-spot distances from each other that were 2,000 kilometers away. This pair of these were $21.50 with free shipping. And the last item, last package, comes from the Dong Li Industries in Dongguanqi, Guangdong, China. That's a lot longer to say than I'm from Cleveland. Well, let's see what's in this one. This one's kind of boxy, and I don't remember actually ordering anything from these folks, but what is it? Oh, yes. Excellent. This is a USB soldering iron. Basically allows you to plug it into a USB port. It's like 5 volts, 8, maybe 10 watts of power. And it has a touch switch on it, if I remember right. It's got some type of a momentary contact switch on it. I saw this on Julian Letts' channel, and he got one, and now I see him using it all the time. And I'm really big into trying to make my kits portable so that I can take them with me. And a soldering iron is one of the things that ties you to an electrical outlet. So I was thinking if I had a soldering iron that I could plug into a standard USB battery pack, that I would be able to do soldering without having to have an electrical outlet nearby. I hope you enjoyed this video and possibly even learned something from it. If you liked this video, then please click on the like button and leave any questions or feedback in the comments section below. And can you give this geek a hand? Would you subscribe to my channel? I would really appreciate it. Now, take a little time off, use your portable soldering iron, and go build something.